So last week I talked about how I went to London for a Teach First assessment thing, and I mentioned that I was on a train for quite some time. 8 hours is a long time to whittle away when you are too tired to read, battery on your laptop's dead, or your DS is also dead, or your phone is also dead, and for some reason the train you're on doesn't have plug sockets, so you can't bring any of them back to life, and you've still got 7.5 hours to go. So, what else is an Englishman supposed to do with 7.5 hours still to go except buy copious amounts of tea? And as it turns out, tea nowadays comes with social media attached to it, as with everything else. And so, like, when you buy a tea on a train now, you get like a cup of tea filled with tea, alarmingly enough. But you also get like this bag as well. You just get to imagine like a gold bag. And I thought I'd try it out because it says take a photo of your tea and tell us how it is. And I don't really know what the premise of it is because it's just a cup of tea on a train. And so I sent this tweet. Paid £1.70 for this. You're lucky I'm British and psychologically dependent on tea. And I actually got a reply from Yorkshire Tea. Sorry, John, we don't set those prices, but we hope it was worth it. Now, I am not a person to be easily silenced, as anyone who has met me will know. So I replied with this. Your response pleases me. As such, you should be allowed to live. Also, it was a bit weak. We're sorry, John. If you drop us an email to hello@yorkshiretea.co.uk, we'd love to send your own box of tea to enjoy. To which I was a little bit surprised, as this was basically just me starting off trolling a tea company on Twitter, and all of a sudden, I've got a free box of tea to call my own. So I thought, why stop there? So I took them up on this offer, and I sent them an email. You'll probably want me to be making your complaints on a more regular basis. Here's what I wrote. Evening. I recently bought a tea on a train. This in itself is not terribly unusual. However, I decided to try out the #TeaOnATrain Twitter handle, as I am both English and psychologically dependent to social media. The PR team in charge of the account were therefore dismayed and bereft to discover I found the resultant brew a bit weak. Upon this, said team kindly offered a box of tea to me as recompense for the emotional turmoil brought on a British locomotive user at receipt of a somewhat unsatisfactory distillation of tea leaves. I therefore accept this kind offer of peace on behalf of the Yorkshire Kettle Empire, and eagerly await to see if I can oust the best efforts of tea makers employed on the East Coast choo-choo. Ladbrokes has odds of 3 to 1, I can. I leave the address of my spacious Scottish villa, with automated biscuit dunking facilities, climate-controlled tea caddies and attic space for a Shetland pony, below. And I was a little bit disappointed that I sort of just got the generic PR reply of, thank you for letting us know, we'll send it post-haste. Which they did, and here it is. It's a bloomin' big box of tea. It's bigger than my head. I'm eager to see how much of this is air, to be honest. They've sent me 240 of the bloody things. Oh, there's a letter. Hang on. We hope you enjoy the enclosed from all of us at Yorkshire Tea. It's actually handwritten. Look at that. I didn't know that they were part of the Tailors of Harrogate Tea Empire. I should probably pay more attention to the FTSE 100. I might frame this, I'm not sure yet, because I feel that this is a sort of consumer victory in that I have done the most British thing imaginable in, taking A, public transport, B, drinking tea on public transport, and C, complaining about public transport after queuing for the tea. I've basically covered all my English points here. I tell you what, let's see if I can actually do a better job than the tea monkeys on the East Coast choo-choo. So, it's clearly the day after, and more importantly, the moment of truth. I've had worse.